Hello again, everybody. I have a Green Earth mission here which I'm not sure whether I hate or am okay with. I certainly don't like it. It's a Fog of War mission that suffers from most of the usual Fog of War failings. On the other hand, it has a cool scenario here. I like the idea. The chapter definitely has some unique ideas to it. It's very distinctive, which is good. Once you know how it works, there are some ways to mitigate some of the usual Fog of War problems. But on the other hand, again, it has some special problems of its own. Some of which relate to the game's secret mechanics and how necessary they are to do well on this chapter. You can easily win the chapter, but if you play intelligently, but don't know how the game works, you will get a terrible score. You have to play stupidly to get a good score. Alright, so the land idea is insane there. Don't even consider that. This, I guess, is the only case I can think of long-distance communication in the Advance Wars universe. Maybe it's some kind of new Green Earth technology they're trying. So this is a cool thing. We get to team up with Yellow Comet. That seems like an unusual pairing, and we get to play as Kanbei, which is a lot of fun. So I do like those things. Yep, it's a Black Cannon mission again. Kanbei is completely worthless for taking those out. We'll talk about the map momentarily. So Kanbei says some mostly unimportant stuff here. Yeah, Kanbei can't help with the Black Cannons. So, Drake has an absolutely tiny base down here with basically no funds, so you really can't get a good land army. Over here, the map is kind of shaped like a big upside down U, you could think of it as. And unfortunately, Kanbei's on the wrong side of the U to help out with the Black Cannons. I guess you can maybe get a rocket over there slowly and then take out one, but Drake's gotta take out the other one for sure. Anyway, these Black Cannons are positioned where if you make one false move, they will blow your navy to smithereens. So I'm going to advance some of my scissors down in this inland sea. This is as far as I can get safely, I believe. Along these shores of this big U, Hawk has an insane number of units. He's got lots of things. MD tanks, rockets, artillery. The shores are just crawling with rockets and artillery. I mean, look at that. It's all along the edges like that. It's crazy. But tons of other things too. So it's quite tricky to deal with all of that. Now I'm going to do something rather dumb here and put a lot of units in range of the enemy on purpose. So I'm going to put this rock can stay right where it is. This one can drive up there where it can be shot by a rocket. This one can go over there where it can be shot by a rocket. Maybe I'll put a paper over there. I think actually I'll switch to this one back and put a paper in its place instead. The reason I'm doing that is to build up my superpower bar. Now the game doesn't really tell you about how that works, but if you can get your superpower on turn 2 in this game, that's pretty crazy and pretty good in this case. So you should definitely go for that. Now down here, Kanbei's main job is just to hold off Hawk and keep him from getting these bases. The thing is, although there are several bases scattered around the map, Hawk doesn't start off with any of them. He'll get some of them pretty fast with his scattered troops, but above all, you must not let him deploy any troops out of them, because he starts off with 36 units, right? Which means you need to kill off 4 units in one turn with Drake to get a good power score. The game doesn't tell you any of that stuff. If you don't know that, you have no hope of getting a good power score. You're likely to complete the game with like 200 points in this mission. Basically a 0 for power or something like that. Which is just something that's not good about the design. But if you do know it, it's still hard in this case, because there's just not many ways to get kills as Drake. You only have 4 scissors. You must get 4 kills in one turn, and you have only 4 units that are good fighters. Now you can maybe have Kanbei deliberately set up like a weakened unit for Drake to kill in the south with something bad of his own, like a tank or whatever. That's about your only option to get one more kill. So it's just not terribly easy to do, even once you know how it works. But if you don't know how it works, it's hopeless. You'll never naturally get enough kills with Drake, especially to get a decent power score. I remember trying this again and again as a kid and just failing every single time and not knowing why, because I was doing everything that seemed smart. I was killing lots of units, which is what Patrol Power is about. So we're doing silly things to earn more points here. Deliberately putting a lot of guys in range and setting up for a big turn as Drake. Alright, so I slightly overkilled it, I think, on the gauge here. Kind of a matter of luck and how much damage you take, but we'll go for it. So getting this turn 2 tsunami really hurts Hawk a lot, in several ways. So first of all, it slows him down on movement. It also reduces half of his gas, which actually matters in this mission because he needs to walk some of his units so far that they might actually run out of gas. And it slows down his captures too, by injuring his infantry that are doing the capturing. And most importantly, perhaps, it sets you up to actually get kills as Drake, because you can't kill anything with Drake's scissors, because they're not very strong. Alright, let me get that rock into that reef where it's safe. Do note that the vision reduction does hamper you too, so don't forget about that and get surprised. Advance that 3rd scissors down there. move that rock along. And then the others can just kind of move back. Oh, you know what I can do? I can maybe join troops up to get a little bit of extra money. That could be a big bonus to my rather stunted economy. So let me go ahead and do that. Great. Well, in that case, instead of just building a tank or something like that this turn, I can build a medium tank. Quite handy. But a tank might still be better, honestly. At the very least, it lets me build out tanks faster instead of needing to wait extra turns for them. So that'll be beneficial. No, put that thing there. I intend to take 0 casualties on this mission, so I'll take a lot of damage but no casualties, basically. Alright, now luckily, because we're still just getting set up, the rain doesn't really hamper Kanbei at all here. I think I'm actually going to skip over that nearby city, for the time being that is, and advance full speed toward that base. I don't want him to get that, and he makes a push for that incredibly early. Now the next thing we need to do is make sure that he doesn't get his CO power. He'll happily use that unless we push him right past that threshold. So we've got to set up a turn with Drake where we get a whole bunch of kills at once and push him past that.
Good reminder here that missile silos don't affect black cannons or any other black hole installation. We kind of got that news on the Blue Moon Factory mission when it came out before, but good that they reminded us here, and also that we don't just have the assumption from before maybe that applies only to pipe seams. All black hole installations work the same way, of course.
One notable thing is that because Drake's scissors don't have that kind of attack bonus, he needs to be at full health to 2-hit kill a black cannon. So you can get in a really frustrating situation where if you're taking any damage whatsoever from a black wave, you take an extra turn, or even more if he's shooting at you, to actually take out any of these cannons.
As a note, by the way, damage either done to or inflicted by black cannons and things like that does not affect CO power buildup. Only unit versus unit battle damage affects that.
Let's join up. And sure, we'll join up even more guys. So much money. I'm gonna get a Neo tank out. That should be fun. Alright, so. Scouting down here, I just happen to know that that's where the rocket is. So now, I'm in a decent position where I can start getting some kills next turn. Which is what I'm going to do. Alright, let's drive that tank out. I think that a recon will coming up to shoot Kanbei momentarily, but we'll be ready for that. Alright, super early Neo tank there. A lot of fun. So, Kanbei can advance. I think it's best to stay away from here where the recon will just start shooting you and push for that base instead, which is a much more important objective, really. Maybe I will capture this city now, though, a turn later. And build a... Should I build a recon to scoot out there faster, or a tank? I might actually build a recon, oddly enough. I would usually go a tank, but here, I'll try a recon. Okay, so this is the crucial turn. We need to avoid getting him a black wave. If we can accomplish that, then we should be able to, use my strategy successfully from here. Alright, so Kanbei is wildly overpowered as usual. He'll be healed back up to full. You can see the recon's already almost out of fuel. Hawk has to drive a long way, and being reduced to half of his fuel before he starts going, pretty painful. I have tried, by the way, going for double Tsunami. I find that's not worth it, because you end up having to rely on luck for him not to get a black wave along the way, basically. It can work, but it's just not guaranteed. And I really like sure things instead. Okay, so over here I should be able to take down that recon. So that is 1 kill for Drake. I only need to get 4. Alright, so 1. Let me just walk this thing forward while I'm thinking about it. Build another tank. Oh, I guess I slowed my Neo tank down there. Silly of me. Okay, let me do some scouting over there. Ah, a recon I think I can guaranteed kill. Down it goes. So that is 2 kills. Next up, I think I want to take down artillery. Now, I'm only guaranteed to kill the ones on road, so I guess I better go for those. Although, I would rather have this one just go full steam ahead. Maybe... No, the odds of success are too small. I've got to just grin and bear it and go for that artillery. And that one. Alright, now how far can I advance the remaining scissors without it getting shot by anything? I think I can get down here safely. Now this rocket goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can get here. I think that's the furthest that I can advance in safety. So I'll try that. Let me check this is... Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So all the fighting should be done for Drake at this point. We want to now fight Hawk as little as possible, just, you know, accomplishing our objectives and not letting him get things done. Alright, so we drive over there and see what we can see. Ah, you're working on that, huh? I think not.
I want to point out here that without Drake having done that tsunami, Hawk would have completed this capture on turn 3 and built a new unit on turn 4. So without Drake doing that super early tsunami, it is literally impossible to stop Hawk from getting this before Kanbei gets in position. Anyway, I'm pretty sure all this damage has pushed Hawk past his CO power threshold, so he'll save for Black Storm and never get it. It is kind of fun to manipulate the CO powers the way that I'm doing and solve the puzzle that way. But again, the game just doesn't give you the information you need to know to make those decisions.
We could definitely use a Kanbei tank in short order, though. He'll be bringing in vehicles of his own, and a Recon's not going to cut it against those. It's just good for taking out that base capture before he can get the job done. Alright. We are getting there. Now it's just kind of a slow progress of moving our troops toward their goal. Okay, well on the positive side, he's blocking the base himself, so I can not need to worry about doing that. There's some of his big MD tank brigade. Now he has another rocket down here, which is kind of the last hurdle to deal with. If you don't know about that, you can just lose at the last second because your crucial scissors gets crippled and you have to spend 10 turns chipping down whatever other ships he's got in the area. I mean, chipping down the cannon. What am I talking about? Okay. So. I forget what is actually safe over here. Can you rise there? No, not safe. Gotta just advance over there. Okay. Well, that's alright. I'll just walk back over here. Rise. Shouldn't be in the way there, so I'll go for it. This guy's pretty unimportant. And maybe I'll get out a recon to just watch the other side. Shouldn't really matter, though. Okay. I did once, just for fun, fight all the way around and take out everything on this mission. Just go in the whole upside-down U as Kanbei and so forth. It was kind of fun, but it takes a long time, and of course you get a terrible, terrible score for that, so don't actually recommend. Can I take this thing out? Probably. Okay. I could launch the missile right here. I think I will do that, actually. He's probably got vehicles there. I just wanted to just shred them and make it so the infantry will not get anything done before the mission ends. The other alternative was to shell these woods here, just make sure if he has a rocket that's in bad position that can't hurt me as much, which is also a solid idea. Okay, Hawk. So, good luck on that capture. Yeah, shoot Kanbei's infantry. See if I care. Okay, I care a little more about that, but luckily I was right. He did have a tank in that force, so he did manage to cripple that with that missile, so that was a good thing to do. Is that APC movement just that he has a rocket in that force? If so, that's a really, really nasty place for it to be, and I can't do a thing about it. I'm gonna just have to hope that's not the case. Fortunately, no. Okay. So I will start cruising on over. Actually, how fast can the other scissors get in position? So if I walk it there next turn, then walk it there next turn, then in 4 turns I'll take that thing out. Whereas over here I need to walk over there, and then in 3 turns I can take that thing down. Okay, I think I'm best just stay here and just start shooting. I'll finish 1 turn early, but that's basically unavoidable, I think. Still, I'll drive that one down just in case I need a spare for any reason. And I will take that thing out. It is giving Hawk a little tiny bit more power, but I'm not too worried about that at this point. I think we've slowed him down by enough that we'll be able to win before he accomplishes anything further. Sadly, the Neotank won't really see much play, but hey, I got to have like a turn, what, 3 or 4 Neotank? That's still pretty sweet. And I'll just end it there. At this point, I'm mostly making moves for honor's sake, just trying not to lose any units. I think he's got an anti-air coming next, is my recollection, which might shoot out a recon, but shouldn't accomplish too much. What am I doing? These aren't going to actually matter. I'll end it there. I'll try to skip some of these pointless moves.
If you haven't seen somebody play this mission the normal way, you might not know just how much hassle I'm skipping here and how many problems I have solved with this approach to it. I am very proud of this strategy. I think it's quite a clever one of my favorite ones that I've come up with. I suppose the obnoxiousness of the mission makes the solution all the sweeter.
The only thing that could spoil things would be if Hawk now happened to move his... Okay, he moved it out of the way. That's good. And it's good that I know that, instead of just having to take a guess about it. I will rise there so I don't run into fuel, which will happen in just a few turns here otherwise. Wouldn't want to lose a unit just running out of fuel. I guess I'll be 2 turns late on that, but oh well. Just the way it goes. I'll take that thing out just for fun. I don't want him to complete his capture after all this work. Witness the firepower of this Neotank. Okay, so the Neotank did get to be useful. How about that? As you can see, it's a kind of a fun battle actually if you just do slug it out, but it's really not worth doing in this case, and you can't get a good score that way. Okay, let's move on. So one thing that I like about this mission better than most Fog of War missions is that you can use those rocks to scout without actually being exposed to fire. Usually there's no way to see a rock without walking into its range, or like a tank or something like that. You just can't do it. But in this mission, you actually can, and that makes it less bad than most Fog of War missions to me. Okay, let's move that guy back. And let's just go ahead and end it. So as you can see, once you know how the game works, it's pretty viable to play this mission. And this strategy is extremely effective. But until you know all of these hidden mechanics the game just doesn't tell you, what chance do you have, really? That's what I don't like about it. It doesn't tell you how CO power bars work, it doesn't tell you how the power score works at all, none of that stuff.
I don't think even the designers thought of these maneuvers, though, because they gave you 22 turns for perfect speed score. I just did it in 9. It is odd of Hawk to blame the Black Cannons for this. He's usually the CO who takes responsibility and either says the opponent was more skilled than he expected or something like that.
Canada, of course, was mostly irrelevant here, other than giving us a good power score by preventing them from getting those factories. Someday soon, except that we won't use Drake, because why would we ever choose to use Drake when we can have Eagle? But yeah, foreshadowing. Soon we'll get to have them team up again. Except not Drake. I do wish it had a unique background for this one. This is such a unique chapter, it really demands one. But, oh well, tanks blowing up it is. Anyway, some cool ideas, some terrible ideas. It's not as bad as some missions. And I think it's a clever strategy at the very least, so I did enjoy showing that. Alright. Next time we've got another Eagle mission. Pretty cool one. Until then, have a great day everyone.